Welcome to the Cimorelli podcast.
So this question is from Patreon. We get all of our questions for the podcast from our patrons. This is from our patron, Sarah Michelle. She said, how to not overwork or burn yourself out.
Oh my gosh.
I've learned so much about this.
Great question.
I know. It sounds like you guys don't really know because those were your lows that you did.
No, that was the past. I'm just kidding.
Well, I will say that we grew up with our dad is really, really, really
Overworking?
strong,
Hardworking.
I was going to say a strong work ethic, but definitely can be workaholic, really obsessed with work.
Yes.
So I think we kind of grew up in a environment where that was kind of the norm.
Burnout.
And we had to kind of start to learn how to not
take care of ourselves.
Yeah. We had to realize that self-care wasn't a dirty word.
What?
Okay, I have come a long way in this from where I was. So before Lauren gives her guru tips, whatever. You almost fainted from candy corn the other day, so you are not
I wasn't because I was burned out.
Because you're not a guru, though, okay? Anyway.
Lauren's
just
just
a man,
If
okay.
Lauren was an insect, she would be a praying mantis.
Oh,
Yes!
I just had an image of Lauren like this.
Right.
Wait, like in Kung Fu Panda?
As a
That's
praying
so
mantis.
true.
You're so right.
There was a praying mantis on me in South Dakota. Anyway,
me.
it was Lauren.
Okay.
My tips are first, just starting at the bottom. You need to think of what is realistic, which
Yes.
I've gotten better at, because I would say right now I'm kind of throwing my self-care to the wayside, but I would say I have not taken on in a while an unrealistic workload of just okay, I'll do that. Okay, I'll do that. And never saying, oh wait, someone else should do this. Or can we do this later? Sometimes it is just too much. And there's a line. You need to not cross that line of oh, okay, I can do this if I literally don't do anything else today and I don't shower and I don't spend any 1 second with myself. If I just wake up and work and then go to sleep, basically. Oh yeah, oh, we need to eat. Forgot. Food. What is that? Oh, my work. Draw lines of what is realistic for yourself and then know those boundaries. So then as you're taking things on, school, work, whatever, sports, you can say, okay, this is the point where it's getting to too much. So let's cut everything above this and then just go with the essentials.
Oh, I was going to say, sorry, you guys, you're going to talk. So I was when you're at the pass and then that person might be merging, you don't want to hit the car. That was me just now. So I would say you have to really get to the root of it and ask yourself, why is it that you have this inclination towards burnout? What are you running from? What are you running towards? Are you trying to chase success? Is that where you're placing your self-worth? If you can get to the root of it, then you'll become a lot more aware of why you're doing it. So I was extremely, extremely burned out. I mean, I've gotten a lot better. I still have got a long way to go, but probably the height of my bad habit was in my early 20s. And that was because I was placing a lot of my identity in nonprofit / volunteer work. And I was just helping out with all these things, especially at my church. And I was so tired. There's a picture of me with this little girl who I knew who was getting her first communion. And I just remember, I see that picture and I'm I look so exhausted because I truly was. And I realized I was placing my identity in volunteering. And I felt if I'm going to be a good person, I need to do all these things. But I never felt good enough. So it's ask yourself why and get to the root of it. And that's when you can start to untangle it.
Okay, so I'll just give a quick tip. So my tip is to recognize the warning signs so you can actually stop yourself, check yourself before you wreck yourself. That's what I had to realize. Because I would just ignore it and be like, la, 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 la. And then suddenly I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm dead. So start to realize when you start to feel dead. This is going to come from over time with experience and just paying it close attention. You're going to start to recognize, oh my gosh, wait, I think I'm getting burnt out. And you can look back at other times you've had in your life and you can see the signs that you were missing. And I want to tell you guys that we do have an episode that goes into depth. Is that the word?
In depth.
In depth.
In depth.
What am I trying to think of?
Not
into detail.
There you go.
And in depth. There we go. That's it. On this, it's actually our next episode and it's on Patreon only and it's amazing. It's such a good episode. It's about how to stop procrastinating and actually get things done and be productive. So we have a lot more tips where that came from. But if you really want to know about that, join our Patreon and watch that episode. It is so good. Anyone else have any tips you want to say?
Look, I never said I was a guru.
You said it with
put
your
that
face.
on me.
Oh.
I never said that.
Said it
But
with your
one
attitude.
of my greatest tips is setting time boundaries for yourself. So like if you work and you make your own hours, then just be like, okay, I'm not going to work before this time in the morning. I'm not going to work after this time at night. So set time boundaries. Or if it's like school that you're doing, like, okay, I need to finish my homework by this time. I'm not going to do it past that time at night because I'm going to go crazy. Or being like, okay, on Monday nights, I can't plan anything. Monday night is going to be my self-care night. And no matter what happens, not planning anything on Monday night. So like just making actual real time blocks, not just like, oh, I need to take care of myself. No. A real time, a real day, and sticking with it.
Do you want to throw it in? You don't have to, but you can.
I don't really know. I mean, honestly, everything you guys said is good. So
Thanks.
Thank you.
All
All right.
go with that.
You've been listening to the Cimorelli podcast. Follow Cimorelli on Spotify and subscribe on YouTube. You can also find Cimorelli on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.